and welcome to one of my first knitting tutorials. I'm going to go through a couple of techniques, and this video is going to teach the German twisted cast on method. Now I really love this method, partly because it makes such a stretchy cast on, so you can use it if you want an edge that's going to be very stretched, so something like a sock edge, mitten, cuffs, they're all really good for using a German twisted cast on, because it's got a lot of fabric in it, a lot of yarn, so it stretches really well. I've used it on a few patterns, so this is Faradrim, my gloves from Elven Reckoning, and the cast on edge, you can see, it's really quite stretchy. It doesn't pull, it doesn't tighten around your arms, and that's really good for, like, especially long mittens where she's got to go right over your forearm, so it gives a really good stretchy edge to it, and it looks really neat as well. I quite like the little pattern it makes. I also used it on my reindeer leg warmers, so these are also from an Elven Reckoning. They're just long leg warmers, and they're just knitted straight throughout, but because of the really stretchy, find the right edge, cast on, you can see that it just stretches. It's not going to be tight around your leg at all, it's not going to dig in, because quite often if you make the cast on too tight, it doesn't really fit very well and it can be quite uncomfortable to wear. So again, this uses the really stretchy German twisted cast on. So I'm going to show you the technique. Just got some double knit yarn here. And what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and you'll be able to see what I do. When I'm casting on, I don't have a loop of yarn. I don't make a slip knot. I just lay the yarn over my needle, which I hold in my right hand. The reason for that is I find the knot looks a bit unsightly. You can always see that there's a knot there and you can always feel a knot. So I just lay the yarn over. And then to hold the yarn in my left hand, I put my thumb and first finger through the centre of the loop that's made over the top of the yarn, grab hold of the rest of the yarn with my rest of my fingers of that hand, and then bring the loop down between my fingers and thumb. This creates a loop that goes around your thumb. Can you all see that? It crosses over, so there's a loop. Now with the needle, you're going to go round underneath that loop, over the top and down through the centre of it. Then you're going to take the needle, go around behind the strand of yarn that's on your finger, and then bring that strand of yarn back through the centre of the loop that's on your thumb, the same way that you went down through it originally. Let go and pull it tight, and you let go just with your thumb. You can keep holding on with the yarn with your fingers, they don't need to move, it's just a thumb loop that you have to let go with to pull the knot. So I'll do that again. So you're going to go round, behind and underneath the whole loop of the yarn around your thumb, over the top of the first strand and down through the middle of that loop. You're going to take that needle round behind the strand that's on your finger, and you're picking up that strand, so you're going over the top, round behind it and picking it up, and then you're going to come back through the loop on your thumb exactly the same way that you went down through it. So you're just taking it back out again, which if I put the thumb around that way, you can see that I'm just coming back up through the middle. Let go of your thumb and pull it tight. So it's round underneath the whole loop on your thumb, over the top of the first strand and back down through the middle, round behind the strand that's on your finger, back through the strand on your thumb, let go of your thumb. Just need to pull it a bit tighter, I've got a bit loose while I'm stretching it, and pull it tight. So it's round under, over the top and down through the middle of the loop on your thumb, behind the loop on your finger, back through the loop on the thumb, and let go of the thumb. Round behind, over the top and down through the middle, round behind the loop on your finger, picking up that loop, bringing it back through the middle and letting go. Now if you can see, that's the cast on edge, and it's this extra loop that lies directly underneath the stitch that is the extra loop the twisted German twisted cast on gives you, and that's why it becomes so stretchy. So you've got the normal knotted bit underneath, which you get with most cast-ons, but it's this extra little bit here that gives it all its stretch. Because got that extra loop of fabric, of yarn, it means that when it's stretched, that bit of loop can tighten and move, and that's why you get a much stretchier edge to it. So I'll just do a couple more. So you're going to bring the yarn down between your thumb and your finger. You're going to go underneath, over the top and through the middle of the loop on your thumb, round behind the loop on your finger, bringing that back through the loop on your thumb. Don't cross it over or get it caught up in it. You just go back out through the loop, let go of your thumb and pull it tight. Underneath, sorry, that was someone outside. Underneath, over the top, down through the middle, round behind the loop of yarn on your finger, back through the middle, and let go. And then when you start going a bit faster, she says, round over the top, back through the middle. So you can see you can actually go pretty fast, especially if you need to do lots of stitches to cast on. And that's what gives you this really neat and quite nice cast on stretchy edge. So perfect for socks, cuffs, mitten cuffs, leg warmer cuffs. Can be used on wrist cuffs if you tend to find that you cast on too tightly for arm sleeves and you need something a bit looser to get over your hand. If you find that your cast on edge is generally quite tight, this is a good one to use. But anything where you want to have a really tight, neat edge is probably not the one. It's for stretchy cast ons. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you back here soon.